The Revelation of Heaven's Secret 2025. Where did this Buddha descend? Welcome back, everyone, to Mind Podcast. Lord Shakyamuni Buddha once foretold that his teachings, as brilliant as the morning sun, would not endure forever in their original, pure state. There would come a time when that radiant light would gradually fade, unable to illuminate the restless souls seeking the meaning of life. This marks the era of the semblance Dharma, a period when the Dharma, though still present, exists only as an outer shell, having lost its soul and vitality. During this time, the Dharma resembles a stone statue, outwardly solemn and steadfast, yet cold and lifeless, devoid of the breath of life. The Buddha's teachings, once brimming with compassion and wisdom, become distant echoes fading through time, like a painting dimmed by the passage of years. The true essence of the Dharma, once a beacon of light guiding lost souls, becomes a silent shadow of itself, a once vibrant legacy now quietly retreating from reality. It is in this era that the essence of the Dharma is no longer fully felt. People hear the teachings but fail to practice them. They see the scriptures but do not understand them. They revere symbols without living in the spirit of the way. This is a time when the grandeur of Buddhism seems shrouded in dust, and humanity loses sight of the true meaning of enlightenment. As the Dharma-ending age begins, it heralds the decline of the teachings. Like an oil lamp extinguished in the deep night, not only does the outward form of the Dharma become hollow, but even its essential nature is forgotten. It becomes like a melody without rhythm or a river that has run dry. Devout Buddhists, though still walking the path to find peace, find themselves drowning in the sea of ignorance, like travelers lost in a vast desert. Their souls waver, their faith falters, and the values that once illuminated their path become faint shadows amidst the storms of life. Every step on their spiritual journey feels burdensome, as though all paths lead to the abyss of suffering and loss. Yet, amidst the thick darkness, there is always a fragile but fierce glimmer of light waiting to ignite. Maitreya Buddha. The Buddha of the future will emerge as a lighthouse amidst a stormy sea. He will not come with the traditional imagery of a golden robe or a grand throne. Instead, he will manifest as a fully awakened being, transcending all boundaries and limitations. His arrival is not merely to teach, but to awaken, to touch the deepest recesses of every being's soul. The appearance of Maitreya Buddha will not be a repetition of outdated rituals or forms, but the revival of the true Dharma, an unquenchable flame within each person. The Dharma will not shine merely through words, but through profound realization, spiritual awakening, and the return to the essence of truth. He will guide humanity, not with mysticism, but with the sheer power of inner enlightenment, igniting within humanity a new era, a time of true peace and liberation. This is the moment of a great transformation, a time when all beings yearn to return to their origins. The light of the true Dharma will once again illuminate a new horizon for humanity. Maitreya Buddha will not arrive as a distant symbol or an ancient legend, but as a vibrant force, a new breeze that rekindles the flame of enlightenment in every breath, in every moment of ordinary life. He will need no regal throne or elaborate ceremonies. He will embody absolute truth, a powerful inner force that moves the hearts of those submerged in suffering. With his commanding presence, he will open the path to liberation for hearts bound in ignorance, rekindling hope that seemed lost. Yet we must face the truth. The decline of the Dharma does not stem from external circumstances or the age we live in, but from our own apathy. We have unwittingly imprisoned the Dharma within rigid frameworks, turning it into a lifeless object instead of a dynamic, thunderous flow of wisdom and inspiration. The Dharma is not about hollow forms or soulless rituals. It is about profound understanding, a lamp that lights the path back to our true selves. Without the presence of the Buddha within our hearts, even the most meticulously preserved teachings become mere fragments of a faded brilliance. The true revival of the Dharma will only truly flourish again when we cease confining it within rigid forms and allow it to permeate every thought, every action, and every heartbeat. Only when the teachings of the Dharma become not merely something we revere, but a way of life that we actively practice, can they be reborn in their full brilliance. This is also the mission of Maitreya Buddha, not to hand us a predefined truth, but to awaken the inner strength within each individual, so the light of enlightenment radiates from the very hearts and souls of humanity. It is not just a promise of a new era, but a call to action for all of us to rise and co-author a new chapter for the Dharma, a chapter that shines brightly, overcoming the shadows of ignorance and suffering. To welcome Maitreya Buddha, we cannot simply fold our arms and wait, hoping for a miracle from the outside. He is not a deity who will shoulder all the suffering of humanity, but a symbol of enlightenment waiting to emerge within the soul of each person. His arrival is not coincidental, but the inevitable result of a deeply prepared spiritual journey. It happens when we ignite the lamp of inner wisdom within ourselves, clear away the darkness of ignorance, and create a pure and serene space for his light to shine. This space is not constructed from grand rituals or outward displays of grandeur, but from sincerity, clarity, and relentless effort to purify the soul through every thought and every action, day by day. It is a journey of self-renewal, of breaking free from old patterns to embrace profound awakening. Shakyamuni Buddha once taught that, no matter how precious his teachings were, they could not escape the law of impermanence. After the era of true Dharma's brilliance, the teachings would enter the era of semblance Dharma, where the forms remained but the essence faded, like a lifeless stone statue. In the era of degenerate Dharma, the teachings would decay, becoming a mere shadow of their former selves, shrouded by ignorance and hollow rituals. Yet the Buddha also prophesied the arrival of Maitreya Buddha, who would bring a new light, reviving the splendor of the Dharma and rekindling hope for humanity lost in darkness. Today, we live in a world of turmoil, where material wealth, fame, and power overshadow spiritual values. Modern people are caught in a whirlwind of suffering and greed, moving further away from inner peace. Spiritual values struggle to hold on to faith, as they are confined within outdated forms that no longer align with the needs and aspirations of the present. The Dharma, therefore, requires renewal, a fresh vitality that is both deeply aligned with its profound truths and adaptable to the capacities and circumstances of contemporary people. Only through this balance can the Dharma once again serve as a guiding light, leading humanity toward enlightenment and liberation. The era of Maitreya Buddha, a solution for humanity's challenges. The arrival of Maitreya Buddha is the answer to the struggles of an age overshadowed by ignorance and suffering. He does not come to re-establish ancient rituals or the solemnity of the past, but brings a vibrant energy of enlightenment, transcending all limitations and frameworks. Maitreya Buddha is a symbol of renewal, representing the power within that helps humanity rediscover the innate enlightenment that has always existed within them. Maitreya does not merely save humanity from pain and restlessness. He guides each individual on their journey of self-awakening. Instead of granting liberation from the outside, he inspires everyone to become a torchbearer, lighting their own path. This awakening emerges from the depths of the inner self, moving beyond superficial religious forms, where the true light of Dharma is awakened within each person's soul. The light that Maitreya Buddha brings is not physical, but the light of wisdom and compassion, illuminating even the darkest corners of the heart. He helps us realize that liberation is not found in distant or supernatural things, but in every thought, action, and moment of the present. This is a return to the pure essence, free from attachment and suffering, where true peace resides. Welcoming Maitreya Buddha does not mean passively waiting for a savior to transform the world. Instead, it is a call for each individual to become part of that transformation. Each person is a lamp, and as we collectively light these lamps, the resulting illumination not only dispels the darkness of the era, but also ushers in a new age. In this new era, enlightenment is no longer the privilege of a select few, but becomes a shared horizon for all of humanity. The light of the Dharma will be more than a source of hope. It will be the guiding flame that illuminates the path forward. This is the mission of Maitreya Buddha, not only to bring liberation, but also to inspire everyone to recognize that true peace and enlightenment have always been within their reach. Only when every soul is awakened will the world truly transform, and the truth of the Dharma will shine eternally, becoming an endless source of hope for all generations to come. A story from Buddhist teachings, compassion in action. A compelling story from ancient Buddhist scriptures illustrates the contrast between the past and the present. It tells of a compassionate Zen master who always carried a small broom to sweep away tiny creatures like ants and insects as he walked. This simple act, in the context of a rural society, symbolized profound compassion and respect for all living beings. The Zen master's actions serve as a timeless reminder of the depth of loving kindness and mindfulness that defines true spiritual practice, a message that remains relevant in every age. Not wanting to harm any living being, even the smallest, is a noble aspiration. However, in a modern society like present-day Saigon, where life unfolds at a dizzying pace, such actions by a meditation master might be viewed with skepticism or even considered strange and unreasonable. This is a clear illustration of an important truth in Buddhism. No matter how noble an action may be, if it does not align with the circumstances or the spiritual capacity of people in that era, its potential value cannot be fully realized. We cannot continue clinging to outdated religious practices while society undergoes rapid transformation, especially in an age where life moves swiftly, technology evolves daily, and the psychological and social challenges become increasingly complex. Thus, the appearance of Maitreya Buddha is not merely a continuation of tradition, but marks the beginning of a new era in Buddhism, a vigorous renewal suited to the demands of modern society. He will not come to maintain old, outdated rituals, but to offer a new path, a way of living that resonates with the 21st century, a century in which humanity faces countless challenges, both spiritual and material. Welcoming Maitreya Buddha does not mean passively waiting for a miracle from outside. It is not a matter of sitting idly in hope, but rather an active journey for each individual to cleanse their soul, purify desires, anger, and ignorance, to be able to receive the light of enlightenment from him. Maitreya Buddha does not arrive to replace the old teachings, but to pave a new way, a fresh approach to Buddhism. A Buddhism that is not only a religion, but also a way of life that helps people address spiritual challenges in modern society. We live in a turbulent world where spiritual values are easily forgotten amid the race for material wealth, fame, and power. The psychology of modern humans has become more complex than ever, with psychological stress, imbalance in life, and a lack of ethical values pushing people into states of anxiety, dissatisfaction, and suffering. In this context, the arrival of Maitreya Buddha is not just a prophecy, but a fundamental necessity to help humanity rediscover peace and tranquility in their hearts. For a long time, Buddhism has been more than a religion. It is a profound spiritual culture that has significantly influenced the development of humanity. Great masters like Nagarjuna and others have played crucial roles in reviving the Buddhist spirit through revolutionary reforms, bringing Buddhist teachings closer to people in every era. These changes have helped Buddhism retain its vitality, overcoming challenges and maintaining its profound influence in both the East and the West. However, today's world is entirely different from the past. Cultural barriers between nations and regions are gradually being erased, and the world is becoming a unified entity with stronger global connectivity than ever before. In this context, old cultures are gradually being replaced by a diverse, synthesized culture without clear boundaries. Buddhism must adapt to these changes to maintain its position and influence in the new era. Maitreya Buddha, with infinite wisdom, boundless compassion, and the ability to deeply perceive the struggles of modern humanity, is a model of a spiritual leader who can guide humanity through challenges and suffering, helping them rediscover peace. His appearance is not merely a continuation of Buddhist tradition, but also a powerful encouragement and motivation for a spiritual revolution, opening a new path for humanity to find inner serenity. With noble qualities, Maitreya Buddha will not come to us through ancient rituals or rigid religious practices. He comes to illuminate a new era of Buddhism, an era of flexibility and practical living methods suitable for the conditions of 21st century humans. To welcome him, we must step out of old patterns, abandon outdated religious forms, and courageously embrace a new path, the path of purity, enlightenment, and tranquility amidst the turbulence of the modern world. If Buddhism does not evolve and grow to meet the demands of the times, it risks becoming an outdated relic, devoid of vitality. However, this transformation does not mean abandoning core values. Rather, It signifies growth and adaptation to meet the challenges and needs of humanity in the new century. Maitreya Buddha, with profound vision and infinite compassion, symbolizes awakening and serves as a source of inspiration for humanity to rediscover their true essence, live harmoniously with nature and one another, and build a peaceful, happy, and sustainable world. For many, life seems like an endless race toward distant goals, with the belief that happiness will come when certain achievements are reached. Yet in the teachings of Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, we find a completely different philosophy. Happiness is not a destination, but is present in every moment, in every breath, in the peace we can find within ourselves. Happiness, according to Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, is not a temporary emotional state, nor is it fleeting moments of joy or short-lived satisfaction. Happiness is a deep peace, a stillness that we can feel in every breath, in every step along life's journey. Happiness is when we live fully with ourselves, no longer seeking externally for things that can never provide lasting fulfillment. Happiness is not something that can be bought or achieved through material accomplishments. It is a state of inner being, a sense of freedom and harmony with one's true self. To understand this, we need to return to an important concept in Buddhist philosophy, the freedom of being present in every moment. Happiness doesn't need to wait for some distant time in the future. It lies in fully and completely experiencing the present moment. Happiness is in breathing, eating, talking, and performing the simplest tasks. Happiness isn't somewhere far away. It is right here, right now. Every moment is an opportunity to live authentically, to find peace amidst the busyness of life. This, however, is not an easy realization. In our journey through life, we face countless worries, busy schedules, relationships, and the expectations placed on us by society and ourselves. Thus, returning to oneself, accepting one's flaws, fears, and insecurities is not a simple process. We often confront feelings of fear and anxiety about the future and regret over past failures. Yet, it is in facing these emotions that we realize happiness is not about perfection, but about perfectly accepting imperfection. Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh offers a profound piece of advice. Happiness is being yourself. This simple statement embodies an entire philosophy of living. To be happy, we don't need to achieve anything grand. We only need to pause, listen, and accept ourselves. When we let go of unrealistic societal expectations, stop judging and comparing ourselves to others, we can find profound peace within our souls. From this self-acceptance, happiness naturally arises. Inner peace is not a state of complete stillness, but a sense of freedom, a harmony with the world around us. When we are at peace within ourselves, we feel a deep connection to everything around us, to nature, to people, to seemingly ordinary things that become meaningful when seen through a different lens. In these simple moments, we realize that life is beautiful and perfect in its own way. This philosophy has been transformed by Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh into practical and tangible actions in daily life. He not only speaks of theory, but also guides us step by step, breath by breath. This might be a deep breath, a slow step, or simply sitting still and feeling everything around you. These actions are not magical tricks, but a return to oneself, a return to the present, where true peace can arise. However, peace does not mean avoiding suffering. In Buddhism, suffering is not something to be avoided, but an inseparable part of the journey of personal growth. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. This statement embodies the Buddha's philosophy of embracing suffering as a part of life. Suffering is not something to be avoided, but an opportunity to better understand ourselves, to transform and grow. It is through facing and overcoming suffering that we discover profound truths about life and humanity. Facing suffering does not weaken us, but makes us stronger, wiser, and more aware that birth and death are merely concepts. When we understand the impermanence of life, we live more fully, more freely. The self, life, and death are illusions created by the mind. By accepting impermanence, we no longer feel the need to struggle against death or fear annihilation. This is absolute freedom. When we understand that freedom comes not from external circumstances, but from within, we will realize that happiness is a journey, not a destination. Simply walk as if there is nowhere to go. This is how we let go of illusions about goals and distant ideals, and simply live in each moment with what we already have. Happiness is a path. Along this journey, we will face suffering and letting go as companions. Yet from this, we will find true peace and freedom. This freedom is not an escape from the world, but a wonderful harmony with ourselves and the vast universe. In moments of peace, we discover that happiness is not something to be sought. It is already present within us.